Welcome to Big Red Leads. I'm Big Red, getting you and your business back to the black. Today, we are just free. We are free to do what we want to do. The problem is, most of us have been conditioned and programmed by our environment, the people we surround ourselves with, which is also in the environment, and our parents and elders. Now, understand, I'm about to offend quite a few people. You might even get upset, but understand that this is not a video to intentionally upset you. Now, I want you to raise your momentary vibration and get on this level. Understand, we are all conditioned to a certain level. Everything that you've learned up into adulthood is taught to you by a teacher, a parent, an elder, or a sibling. A lot of unsaid or untaught learned things come from friends, hang-arounds, and people you look up to. Okay? Now, whether you see it, it's conscious or subconscious, you are soaking up as much conformity as possible. This is not going to be a pretty picture. Now, what is successful to you? Everyone, you can have your own definition of success. I look at success. This is how we define success here at Big Red Leads. Continuous improvement on a daily to minute basis. Daily to minute basis. We are getting better every single day. Now, what that does not say, or what that does not include, is we make mistakes along the way, but we learn from those mistakes. Now, coming up as a young person, I had a lot of great role models in ways that had nothing to do with money, had nothing to do with business, had nothing to do with quote unquote business success. But I learned a lot of other intangible things that mattered on the human or the soul or the spiritual side of what it is to be a human being. Now, with that being said, where did you learn sales from? This might be a tricky question for a lot of people because they don't consider being a child and starting a lemonade stand, or taking toothpicks and with Kool-Aid and freezing those and selling those, or taking Halloween candy, holding on to it until Christmas time, and then reselling that candy to your classmates. They don't look at that as sales or entrepreneurship. It's just what we did. All these things matter. Now, if your parents or your grandparents never bought a home, do you see where I'm going with this? If your elders or your let's say your oldest relatives, your elders in your family, never got married, if you've been continuously marginalized by people who do not know you or your family, whether it be job placement, education, do you see where I'm going with this? All these things factor in to what makes an individual. All these things are scripted, all these things are taught. Like I said, either consciously or subconsciously. So where are you getting it from? Where is it cool to be petty? Where is it cool, or is it okay to talk down to somebody who could be a potential partner, business partner, possibly a client, possibly a sales, possibly a person who could work for you? To demean or diminish or to call someone out of their name. Calling someone crazy is one of the worst things to do, because what you're simply doing is you're being dismissive of the person and their thought and their emotion at that moment. So, if everything has been conditioned, everything has been taught to you, what have you really truly learned that didn't involve a curriculum? Because all these things that I just mentioned were a curriculum from someone bigger than you. And I don't mean bigger than you like they're a better person. I'm simply saying someone who has a bigger agenda, who's trying to reach masses of people, to program them a certain way. It could be a city, it could be a county, it could be a country. If it's bigger than your one individual thought, yes, individual people are smart. People are dumb. People are scared. What happens to most people who are scared? They stand behind somebody that they think can take the bullets. They're not willing to step out and be the first. Why? Because the person who's usually first at anything is the one who takes all the shrapnel, takes all the bullets, takes all the hits. That's why when people use the term trailblazer, they're not using it in proper context a lot of times, because there's already been somebody who's done what you've done. A lot of people, what you fail to realize is most successful people end up modeling some other person. They might not do the whole gambit of every exact thing that this person does, because guess what? What drives you probably didn't drive that person. To get you to where you want to be, or you're actually hitting goals and attaining goals to where you actually were striving to hit, this person might have did it in 2 months, this person might have did it in 2 years. What's driving that person? What's driving this person to change? What's driving this person to make a correction? Well, you know what my mom taught me? It really wasn't factual. It really wasn't true. Great person, love her, she gave me life, but she doesn't know what she's talking about. Well, you know, my dad talked about this, but your dad doesn't know jack shit about money. Your dad doesn't know anything about sales. Your dad worked in construction for 45 years. He has no clue what he's talking about when it comes to the actual business side of the business. So where are you learning these things from? And are you willing to not necessarily be mean or mean-spirited to those who just simply don't know? They're ignorant to it. It's okay. My grandfather is one of the hardest working men I know. Now, did you ask him about business? Now, if you ask him about investing, that's a different conversation. If you asked him about hard work and being a quote-unquote Renaissance man, he's excellent, or he does a very good job at everything that he puts effort into. It's very rare. What I'm simply getting at is you are conditioned by a set of circumstances and your surroundings. So if you're surrounding yourselves with 9 to 10 losers, you will be the 11th. If you're surrounding yourselves with broke people, and I'm not talking financially like have like $10 in the bank. I'm talking about people who are mentally broke broken up here. They don't have the capacity to learn. They don't have the ability to learn. And we're not talking about people who have special needs. We're talking about people who, quote unquote, seem to be functioning adults in society today. These are the people that a lot of you listen to their opinion like it matters. Here's the beautiful thing and the most disgusting thing about the internet. Everybody and their mama thinks they have an opinion about what you should be doing and what you shouldn't be doing. I'm not here to tell you what you should be doing, but I tell you what's causing you pain. Hanging around the same broke ass friends that you were hanging around when you were in high school, who decide they think it's cool to smoke weed all day, play video games. Well, they're not gamers, and they're not marijuana entrepreneurs. So what the hell are they doing? At what point does that shit stop? This is unlearning the shit that you learned. Take a look in the mirror and ask yourself these questions. What did I learn from my mother? What did I learn from my father? What did I learn from my uncles? Look at every adult. When you were an adolescent, when you were a preteen, when you were a child, what did they teach you about life skills, spirit, energy, love, compassion, understanding, money, finance, business, people, understanding people, relationships, hygiene, discipline. And look at every last relationship that cultivated you and see where you fell short when it came to once your ass is out there in the real world and you have to deal with these things and you can't even be your authentic self because you've been so conditioned by other people's thoughts and opinions. Because you don't have your own. You're just regurgitating the bullshit that you heard. I'm saying all of this with love. You have to unlearn the shit that you learned to put into play what you are learning today. You have to make space for it. You want some new clothes? You need to go to your closet, take out a bunch of stuff that you don't wear, stuff that doesn't fit, stuff that you're not gonna lose weight for to fit into, stuff that's maybe too big, whatever. You need to find that stuff, donate it to a Goodwill, donate it to a food pantry, food or clothing pantry, whatever. Salvation Army, donate those clothes, get rid of them, give them away, whatever you have to do. You create space, the new stuff will come. The new stuff will come if you create space for it. So all that nonsense that you learned subconsciously and consciously throughout your child rearing years, guess what? You have to get it out of here. You have to get it out of here. Now, I'm not saying go pick up the Wall Street Journal and you're just going to instantly know how to trade. I'm not saying that. But you do have to put in the time and the effort to really get an understanding of what the hell is going on around you in the space. What's going on with your food? What's going on with your environment? What's going on with your relationships? What's going on with the health of people? Here and here. Like, share, definitely subscribe to the channel. You want to be free? No one's coming to save you. It starts with you. It starts with a thought. I know, it's a lot. Love you all. Talk soon, my friends. This is Big Red Leads. Like, share, definitely subscribe to the channel. Peace.